Hi and welcome back. I am in the kitchen right now and wanted to film a quick video on how I clean the container part of my water distiller. And my water distiller is made by a company called Megahome. So this water distiller is the second one that I have had from this company, and it's been great. Works like a charm. So, all right, so to get into this, this piece, after distilling water several times, will develop a residue in the bottom, and it has to do with what is left over after the distillation process of water is complete. So I'm going to take this apart and show you what I'm talking about. So normally I don't keep my water distiller on the counter in the kitchen. I keep it in the laundry room on top of the dryer. I do that because it does produce a bit of heat when it heats up, and so I like to keep it in there. And it does have it does make a sound while it's running, so I prefer to keep it in a separate room so that when I might be talking to someone or watching TV, that noise is in another room. So I'm going to unplug. Let me see if I can move this down a little bit here. Or I can bring this over maybe. All right, so this is the back of the machine, and there are two power sources. This is the main power source here that fits into it's a 3-prong, and then I have the second power cord, and that is for this top piece only. This is also a 3-prong plug. So what I do is I just hold here, and a little twist will remove this top portion. So in the bottom, you'll see sediment in the bottom, okay? This will begin to form after maybe the first or second distillations that you do. And today we're going to clean this so that you can see that it can go from this to completely clean. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. It also doesn't have the most pleasant smell either. So this residue is it's almost like a calcification of a sort. You know, it doesn't come off. I have a sponge that I keep at the side of the sink. This one is never used with any kind of detergent or soap. It is just plain water that I use, and so after each time that I do a distillation, I'll wet this and just take off maybe a surface level of sediment before I make another batch. But at this point, this is enough sediment in the bottom that I think I want to clean this. So we're going to do that today. So I just put the water distiller in the sink. So I'm going to try to move this a little bit so you can see that it is in the sink right now. And one of the associated costs with having a water distiller like this one is you will need to purchase a bag of citric acid crystals. And what this does is it helps to break apart the particles in the bottom of the water distiller, and it will dissolve that and eat its way through that safely, and you'll end up having a very clean water distiller canister when the cleaning process is over. So I have just a normal size scoop that I keep in here. This does not have a measurement on it, so I'm not exactly sure exactly how much this is. I just use 1 scoop. And so I've got just about a full scoop there. See if I can do a little better with that. Okay. You'll also have to pay attention to the fact that citric acid crystals are very sensitive to air, and any humidity that might be in the air will cause clumping like this. But not to worry, the clumps can go in the canister and they will dissolve. So I just use 1 scoop. So 1 scoop will go in here. I put the scoop back, and I'm going to turn the water on. It does not matter what the temperature the water is when you're filling this, because we're going to plug this piece of the unit in, and it will begin to heat on its own. There is like a filament, a heating filament in the bottom, and that will heat this up. And I stir it a few times with a wooden spoon, which I will grab in a minute. And that's about it. So I'm going to stay quiet while this is filling, and I'm going to close this bag up nice and tight, and I'll be back in a minute. I closed this bag, and I put a piece of tape over the flap in the closure of it, along with a rubber band, and then I still will place it in a Ziploc bag. And that is on the effort of keeping moisture out of the bag. And I have my trusty wooden spoon. And so what I will do is stir. Stir the crystals into the water. Now I have this hot plate. I found this, I don't know if it was at Goodwill or the Salvation Army, but I found that it's the perfect piece for me to set my water distiller on while I'm making a gallon of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right here. And I also wanted to show you, and I don't know that I can at the moment. There is a fill line. Right in there. Not sure that's showing up on the camera or not, but it has a fill line, and that fill line is there for a reason. You do not want to overfill this, because if you overfill this, then your reservoir here, and this one is glass. My last water distiller had a plastic reservoir for catching the water drops when making a gallon of water. It will end up filling it too much, and then you run the risk of it overflowing. We don't want that. So I'm going to still put this aside. Now, in order to get this started for water distillation, cleaning, we are going to use this plug. This is the 3-prong plug, and it goes into, let's see if I can show you, and it has a white line on it there, and it is going to go into this first plug here. The white line is there so that it ensures that you have inserted the plug as far in as it should go. That means that it's inserted all the way and completely. And then I just turn it around and press this button. This is the reset button, which also stands for on, and so we're going to turn this on now. And you'll hear a click, but you won't really hear anything until it starts to warm up. Warming up will take maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then it will start to boil. It won't be a rumbling boil that you have to be super careful of. It's not going to overflow or bubble over, but it's going to be very hot, so we want to be careful with that. So I'm going to come back in about the halfway point. This will take anywhere from 45 minutes to almost an hour to completely clean and remove that residue from the bottom of the container. So we'll come back in a little bit and see where we are in the cleaning process. All right, see you later.